Good evening, everyone. This is the February 21st Park and Rec meeting. Meeting is being held hybrid. Meeting started at 6:35 p.m. I will introduce myself, Jeannie Reed, board member. To my left,
David Datalari.
Rick Harriman.
okay, we also have two board members on Zoom. If you could introduce yourselves, please.
John Wally.
Mike Shield.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so first item for agenda, we will skip to bring in Doug Moglen from Select Board, and the reason being is because he has another meeting he has to go to, so we'd like to let him talk and then go from there.
How
Hi,
you doing?
good, good, how are you?
Good. So following up our previous conversation with yourself and David, and then our conversation the other day. Select Board's working on the job description for a Park and Rec director. And I did talk to Nadine this morning. Before my day job, and just making sure that we're working on the job description for the Park and Rec director to get that teed up for the Select Board. They're gonna complete the one for the Council on Aging Director first, because that'll set up everything for the Park and Rec Director role. And then as far as the recruiting of, I think it was 3, but the temporary help for Wally Park for the summer, proceed.
Okay,
And those, at this time, those 3 are gonna be under the purview of the Park and Rec Director, which doesn't exist yet, so they will report into right now to Kara essentially, because she's acting in that role until we split the job.
okay.
Oh, she's getting double pay.
If they're gonna, she is.
Easy there, big fella.
If they're gonna fall under the Park and Rec Director, is that something Nadine or HR will apply for people? We have some people that might be interested already.
Absolutely. Whatever, just like we will do with I would treat it like the beach folks right now, right? However that works now. Right? When you guys hire lifeguards or whatever. I'm not intimately familiar with that process, but follow that similar process.
Okay. Our idea with this was, I know David Sutton does things at the park also, but we
Yeah.
just wanted to kind of clarify everything before the season starts, so it's not a fiasco once we get going.
No doubt.
Park and Rec Director will be, in charge of the people doing grass, weed whacking, lines.
That's the
David
general
Sutton
plan.
will be taking care of like on and off of the irrigation, bathrooms,
Correct.
and anything major that happens up there. The
Correct.
water line that has to be replaced.
And I kind of look at it that way too, and we'll have to codify that, if you will, or document it up correctly, but. There's other projects that are gonna be going on up at Wally Park this summer. There's the spray park, there's the pickleball courts, there's other ongoing routine maintenance and other stuff, buildings and ground stuff. That's under buildings and grounds, but right now for the, temporary guys mowing, striping, maintaining the fields, that would be those people, and that's how we'll handle that.
Okay, they be out of David's hands then? Give
Correct,
you a little
Correct.
break on things?
correct.
I missed the whole first quarter. So I had no idea what he said.
Just nod,
yes. Okay,
just nod
yes.
your head. Love
It's,
it,
it's in favor of you.
yeah.
When can we expect, as far as, the process for the Council on Aging hiring, kind of when's that gonna be finalized as far as posting and,
We're gonna finish the job description, I'm hoping for our next meeting, which is
Mhm.
Monday. And then, we'll have to attend a COA board meeting to get some input from them. And then see what direction we go.
Is this something you're looking to do outside of town or inside?
I wanna talk to the Council on Aging,
Okay,
because they're really
the ones that
a key
decide.
factor in this
Okay,
process, right?
just curious.
And we also have to talk to the person, I don't wanna put them on the spot, they might be in this room that might be interested in the role.
Not me.
okay,
All right, yeah.
anything else?
Well, I just kind of wanted to get things going with the park and rec,
We're
just
working about as quickly as government can. So.
because high school baseball season starts on the 29th of March, believe it or not.
I was watching spring stuff from Florida just today, so thank goodness, pitchers and catchers are in.
Yes, they are.
So yeah, no, everyone's cognizant of it. We're working it and, you know, based on the conversation that we had that I relayed back to the rest of the select board. You know, we're all in agreement on the direction we want to go to. We think we're okay budget wise to get to the end of June. And then we're heading into budget season right now, so we'll be putting together a proper budget for fiscal year 25. That's gonna account for the two roles and
Well, I
And
think
the
you've
staff.
also got to account for Kara, who's been doing Park and Rec and Senior Center. Whoever we hire for Park and Rec is basically going to be trained by her for the first year, because we run things year round. I mean, between the Christmas party and Easter egg hunts, everything else that she has set up, and like even doing the beach, like opening, closing, hire the staff, that's been her. And I think it's imperative to keep her on.
there's absolutely no disagreement from here, sir.
Okay,
None whatsoever.
all right.
Anybody else have any questions? Mike, John, no?
Nope.
Okay. All right. I think we're good with that.
Sounds like a plan to get going.
Yes.
I love it when a plan comes.
Well, I know you have your meeting too.
That's
so-
okay.
Okay. All right.
I just want to make sure that, you know, we've been trying to be communicative back to you guys, but I wanted to come, you know, in front of the whole board and kind of talk about what we've been planning for. And so you as a board are on board with the overall strategy, which is, you know, what was asked of us.
Yeah, I think that would definitely work.
And then just to clarify something, I think there is a little just confusion with who can post the job and who can't kind of deal. We've done it in the past.
Mhm.
Can we continue, can we take that ownership and do it?
Talk
Because,
to Nadine tomorrow.
okay,
That just resolve it at that level, right?
Right.
Because that's probably best handled that way. If I give you advice, it will inevitably be wrong.
gotcha. Okay. All right. I think that's it.
Well, I know I've done my job when I made Kara laugh, so.
Thank
you very much.
much.
Thanks, Doug. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I can work on my day job, so then. All right, I'll see you guys later.
All
Bye.
right, thank you. Do we have any bills to approve?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything we should know about them?
This is Rob Levesque's fees for the spray park. And then, John, you guys received all the parts for the spray park, right? Because we have an invoice here for $71,631.
I have them all. I
Okay,
think. I didn't unpack them.
Was I supposed to sign it? Right? Yeah, well, since there's three of us here, if you need three, right?
I'll sign this one.
We haven't done this a while.
Yeah. Okay, then we'll move on quickly to the minutes from our November 15th, 2023 meeting.
I
Did it-
looked at them online.
Yeah.
They look fine to me.
And when I get a chance.
Yeah.
Everything looks good to me. Mike, you weren't there, so you're abstained from it.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Thank you. John Molly motion, anyone
I'll
second?
second.
Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes from November 23rd, 2023? Aye,
Aye.
I,
thank you. All approved. Minutes are approved. Mhm. Okay. Good, can move on?
Yep.
Okay, moving on to our next line item, we have the Historical Society mile marker request, and I think we have some folks here from Historical Society.
Okay, I'll start off and introduce myself. I'm Denise Muldrew. I'm the president of the Historic Society. And we would like to work to get a marker placed. These got the photos there of mark the Canal Rail Trail area. Let's see, we need to find out what, we're also would like to work with the Friends of Congamon to get this placed. And we just need to find out what steps we have to take.
The Friends of the Rail Trail?
Friends of the Rail Trail.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind here.
we only have so many friends,
Yeah. Oh, I'm not one of them.
but you are tonight.
So,
So where were you looking to put it? Or you talked to them?
Well, I will offer some insights. This is our thought of locating it beside old, Red's Cafe.
Yep.
In this area here,
Across the street, the bigger grassy area you're talking?
and the grassy area, here's the rail trail itself.
Yep.
And this is a tentative mock-up of what the marker would look like.
There's enough for everybody.
You wanna show them as well? Want to see them?
So,
Yeah.
this in essence would be what it looks like, or is this,
That would be one of the models that we've
Okay.
considered.
and how big are we talking?
can I see two?
3 inches thick.
Yeah.
3 feet wide and 4 feet tall.
Oh, thank you.
Can you see it? I don't,
Glasses on.
See the rail trail, what does the mile marker look like?
It's
So
not a
this
mile
is-
marker,
Oh, it's, okay,
this is
shows
a
the whole
rendition
trail?
kind
yes,
of an example of something you are considering.
yes.
Okay. Can you see that, John?
Yep.
Yeah,
So that's what they presented.
looks like a gravestone. Well, it does.
Well, it doesn't say rip on it, so.
Oh, good.
And hypothetically would be what's written on here as well,
Mhm.
besides the facade of it, okay. And then it would go,
In the grassy area to the right center, yeah, somewhere in that vicinity.
Don't go away, Kara.
oh, okay, so this. is the
There's a
street right
Congamon
here.
Road right there,
This is the
and
street,
the rail
yeah.
trail is going north-south,
Yep,
and to your left is Red's Cafe.
yep, and then it would go in
It
here,
would go in there, so it could be easily read from the
Uh-huh.
road, potentially,
Got
or anyone walking on the side there or on the rail trail itself.
I circled the spot. I think we're having owl difficulties,
Okay.
I can see.
huh?
How deep is the base on this?
I don't know what the base is, we do have some prices. The initial price we got direct from Vermont was $6,200 for the monument itself. And that did not include base or work. But, Bob Madison,
Let me introduce myself, Robert Madison. Back some 10 years ago, I hiked the canal, all 87 miles of New Haven to Northampton,
Really?
and I wrote a book. This book, I guess I've sold a few thousand of them, mostly by word of mouth. There are 16 towns the canal, the bicycle path now goes through. But if you're riding the bicycle path, say you live in Simsbury or Farmington, they have a lot of different granite or plastic type educational signs explaining where you are, what the canal is all about, particularly in Plainville and New Haven. Once you get over to the Massachusetts line into Southwick, there's nothing.
True.
I mean, so someone riding their bicycles, now, just by point of reference, the Columbia Rail Trail people last year or 2 years ago, they have a counter. I think some 78,000 people in the summertime pass by this counter. So this rail trail is used quite a bit by a lot of people. And the idea is this marker, granite marker, will be educational, because it kind of shows Congamon Lake. It shows the canal, it shows where the rail trail is, and also the railroad where it used to be. So, just, again, I just want to give everybody a little bit of a background as to why I got involved in this. And basically, it's an educational thing. You know, you are here. I bet you quite a few people don't even know that their Congamon Lake is just a few feet down the road. So this gives people an idea of where they're at. And someday, the bicycle path is about 83% complete. Plainville has a lot to do, and Westfield has a lot to do. Southampton, they have I believe, a grant from the Department of Transportation of $300,000 to continue the bicycle path in Southampton. So someday the whole thing will be complete, all 81 miles that follows the 87-mile canal. Well, that's it. Thank you. Any questions or?
I think it would be a good idea.
now, we already have some funds available to spend on this project. We have probably between $2,000 and $3,000 that we can allocate towards this. And I can thank Bob for those resources, because what he did was he allocated all of the royalties and proceeds of the book to a special account that the Southwick Historical Society oversees. So we have funds that we can use toward this. However, we do have a deficit that would have to be made up, a difference of probably about $3,000 that we would be either fundraising or seeking through any viable sources of
Have you
funding.
talked with the Friends of the Rail Trail?
We haven't gone there yet.
I think it might be worthwhile, because they're always looking for projects,
Mhm.
and it might be something we'd be able to do something with
Oh,
too.
good.
I'm only
Good.
speaking for myself.
You know, we have a price of $6,200 from supposedly direct from Vermont for the marker. But Smith Monuments gave a price that was $1,100 less, $5,100 for the marker. And they said that preparation of the base would be $486. Now, it's also possible that if we could get someone to do the base, DPW or otherwise, a volunteer contractor potentially, that would also keep, the cost as low as possible. So there are different possibilities. I mean, this is not a cheap little, steel sign that's going to rust out in 10 years or 20 years or 50 years. It'll be there pretty permanent for all
a while.
practical purposes.
10 inches thick, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing that's gonna get knocked over easily. I mean, even if a vehicle hit it, they'd probably do more damage to the vehicle than to the stone itself.
Hopefully, nobody's driving in that area.
Hopefully not. But, you know, one of the questions I have is this something that the Park and Rec Commission would endorse as a project? You know, in some way, shape, form or other, you know, maybe by a vote initially, but also suggesting both the method, you know, the sequence of steps we need to take and who else we should speak with.
I think it would be worthwhile. I'm not sure about everybody else.
I agree.
I think for people to talk to, definitely the Friends of the Rail Trail and maybe the Scouts, because they tend to do a fair amount of projects on the rail trail for us. That might be somebody you'd be able to get the labor part as somebody's project.
Okay,
When are you looking to do this?
we would like to see it done this year and certainly no later than spring of 2025, because the 4th of July of 2025 is the 200th anniversary of the groundbreaking of the canal on the Southwick Granby line.
Plus, Smith Monument says it's a 6-month lead time. You have to have a down payment of 50%. Then they'll start doing their thing. And roughly 6 months before it's completed.
And is Smith who you're probably gonna go with? Or it depends on what kind of funds you have?
We would have to maybe get another quote or two just to make sure that we're, you know, not throwing good money after bad, but you know, at this point in time, with them being probably the closest monument company and with their price, you know, well over $1,000 less than, you know, a wholesaler, there's a good chance that that may be the lowest price that we would get for the monument.
So do we need a motion on this or?
Yeah, I think, yes,
Well, the motion would be to accept it, so we can go forward. I mean, the Park
I'll
and
make
Rec,
the motion
John Wally motion to
to
accept.
accept it.
Yep, to accept the project.
I'll second it.
Dave Delory second the motion. We will vote on it. Myself, Jeannie Reed, aye.
David DeLaurie, aye.
Rick
John
Aaron, aye.
Wally, aye. Didn't mean to cut in.
No, you're good.
Aye.
Mike Sheila, aye.
Unanimous vote to accept the project for the mile marker has been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I would just like to throw something out there, just if we can be updated and as soon as you have prices and if you talk to some other, you talk to the Friends of the Rail Trail.
We will certainly speak to the Friends of the
Yeah.
Rail Trail.
And then, you can come back and we can discuss more particulars.
So you can plan those.
I mean, we've got to obviously locate it precisely.
Mhm.
You know, we may have to do a, you know, a penetrating, you know, ground search, or, you know,
I have to call-
Utility
have to
search.
call DigSafe.
Yeah.
we don't want DigSafe to say no.
But I think we just had everything marked out last year with all the mile markers that were put in. I know they went through that area, but
Okay,
we'd have to have it done again because of the length of time, but I know nothing else has gone in there.
And I know not to be missed, Dave brought up a good point. If you reach out to the scouts, they're always looking for their Eagle Scouts, projects to do some things.
Mhm.
Maybe they can partner with you guys.
okay.
Yeah,
We've had
that would
a
be
few of
good. We've had, yeah. And since it's approved, it makes it easier for
Correct.
an Eagle Scout to not have to come in front of us and be nervous and.
Also,
Things like
Eagle
that.
Scouts have to raise some money for the project too.
Mhm, yeah. Yeah.
My husband was big into scouting, so I've heard all about it. You know,
Good.
part of what they have to do is raising money
Yeah.
to fund it, so.
Right, yeah,
Thank you.
okay, thank you guys,
Thank you.
Thank you.
appreciate it.
It is.
Hey, how you doing? Jim, how you doing?
I'm just gonna stand up for a second and see what's wrong with this thing.
I tried to reboot it from here.
And I heard it say,
Yeah.
but I guess you made it this far.
I'm about to
Have a good night.
unplug it.
Thank you very kindly.
Thank you, guys.
Can you guys hear us?
Can you hear us?
Yep. We can hear you, see you.
Okay, we have to restart the meeting. We're having trouble with the owl, but we're gonna go to have the meeting because we don't wanna be here all night. So I apologize for the wait. Next on our agenda is, building and grounds update. We have Dave here. And if he would like to take the floor,
Things that families can do
give us some updates.
just to kind of liven up the space, because we like to see it a little more.
Are you talking to me?
It's coming from John's.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, no, Dave, Sutton is gonna talk about grounds and
Oh.
maintenance.
Okay,
not a lot going on up there with all the snow everywhere. Well, I was up there today and everything's
Educator, I like the idea of,
mostly covered with snow and ice still, except for the 90 foot.
it's something that I really like to see in the era of gaming and everything else, you know.
CPC meeting. Oh, that's right, okay, all right,
I muted you for now, John.
okay.
We're
go
good.
ahead. He's on two meetings.
Oh, I'm like, I heard somebody talking. I'm like, should I talk? Somebody's talking.
No, he's,
that's me on 2 meetings.
yeah,
Ah, okay.
the other one I should.
Multitasking, John. The gator's been repaired, the door's been installed and running and all that. Everything that was broken is fixed. Just waiting to start lining the mowers up to have things tuned up. I come up with an idea about the shed. And, I'm gonna mention that to you guys about putting a shed at the edge of the 90 footer by the pavilion. Take care of all the chairs and stage issues and stuff we got stored everywhere.
Mm.
Yeah. Just something real simple. I already got the crushed stone. We have the equipment to do the job. We'll put the base in and all that. And just set a simple shed, whatever color you decide. And then from the shed itself down to the edge of the pavilion would be a Trex deck ramp. And there'd be tongue and groove, so it's smooth, so you can roll things in and out, and it'll be ground level.
Is this going in, where's the money coming from? This coming in?
Well, I'm gonna try and put it in
uh,
for a capital project on the
Okay.
budget. It's $4,000 total, including all the ramping materials. And we would buy the kit from Home Depot and build it ourselves.
How tall is the thing? It's gonna be enough for hold the staging?
Yes, yeah. It's like 16 foot in the center or something. It's not 16.
Oh, yeah.
14. Maybe
That's what
14
I
to the
was
center
gonna
of the
ask, so
peak.
then we can just put all that stuff in
Everything,
there.
everything that's up there, out of there.
Then it doesn't have
It's
to
in
be
the-
trucked all the way
Yeah.
from the
Yeah,
big shed.
it's a pain. I've seen them flip over when they were rolling them from one place to the other. They're gonna get build up speed on that hill. That was kind of funny.
So without this and without putting the staging in the current shed, what would be the solution? I think we don't have one, right?
Not really.
Mhm.
I'm just running out of room in there with the equipment.
Yeah, because we don't want it in that other shed anymore. That was the
We
big
did, we
discussion.
don't, but it never got resolved.
Right, they
Well,
never
you
got
know,
resolved.
The staging belongs to the town through
Right.
through the cultural council. It's a great asset for that pavilion.
Right.
Folks want to.
Yeah, but they're not gonna come and get it and do anything with it.
Right, but if they
It's there.
make mention that, they're gonna be there for Wednesday night and you're only rolling at 15 feet. I've set it up and taken it down myself. It's not a hard thing to do. It's a pain in the butt traversing that quarter mile.
Yeah,
Sure.
That,
Yeah, it's awkward. Yeah, I got you.
And looking at the bathrooms standing on the pavilion, where are you thinking it goes?
I'm a map guy. Okay, you got the cement for the pavilion,
Yeah,
and you got the fence. And then the fence comes down about right here, heads this way. If you put it like about right here. This goes a little bit further, and then it's only 12 feet. 5 feet wide Trex deck
and make a walkway, nice and smooth.
Okay.
Not quite the scale, but
Right.
Right.
Did you guys see me?
that was
trying
my,
to
that was
show
my
you?
sketching. I put on there.
This was what he was proposing as far as this shed design.
Kind of like the one we have right out back here. Kind of the same thing, and you can pick the color. So it blends in up there, but that would, you know, that pavilion is, if it starts to get busy and doing things, you're always wanting chairs and stuff up there and whatnot. I
That,
think it'd
that
right
would be
there.
just for that stuff, not like baseball equipment, that's still gonna
No.
be in the other shed, okay. Yeah, I think it would definitely be worthwhile and probably solve a lot of our problems with that thing.
Yeah, I can only try. They may still say no. You know, if it's going on a light on them like
I
that.
mean, we still have money in Wally Park stuff for things if we have to, if they say no.
Yeah. Cause I think some of it we.
That's what size?
10 by 16. That's the same size that we have out here. When you go out, you park in the back.
Mhm.
When you go in the back, look at the one we have.
What is,
Double doors,
yeah,
5 foot wide entrance, so you can put anything. Roll it right in, roll it
do you
right
know what
out.
the cost is to go 10 by 20?
No, I
And the
didn't
only
check
reason
on
I say
that.
that is because, you know, when I've only put in one shed in my life, right? It was in my backyard and I got good advice once. Whatever you think it is, go a little bit bigger, and they were right.
Yeah,
Right, so,
I started off when I bought the house in 95, I put up a 8 by 10.
Yep.
Tore that down, moved it. I put up it was 12 by 10, added on, well, anyway,
So you-
after all the additions, now I have a 12 by 24 foot and then a 28 by 28 foot barn.
so I don't have to tell you what I'm saying, right?
Exactly.
So, you know, might look at that, it might be, price per foot might be worth looking at
Sure.
that, number one. And then the other thing too is something I was gonna bring up with something that was on the. Eventually, it has to do with colors. I'm not a color guy,
Oh.
I am not a color
Spray
guy.
pad.
so I'm not a color guy.
the
But
park
one
has to
thing that
match.
annoys me about this town, and I'll just say this, is
Green.
no, the fact that Agawam does. What I think is the ugliest thing, it looks like Cleveland Browns colors, right?
They're school colors.
But they're consistent. They're garbage cans, all their everything, and it makes me think of town pride, right? And I think we should start getting in line with that. And we might be the only group that starts to do it, but someone's got to start it. So we're gonna have, you know, I'm not against rainbows. I'm going on record saying I'm not against rainbows, right? But we need to start to figure out, and I don't mind going with the school pattern. I'm not a big green person, but let's settle on something and try to stick with it.
Right.
Yeah. And starting with
You can
the
go
shed,
to,
the color pad,
My-
whatever else.
Well, going by that, do we have a certain color that pickleball courts are?
I would
mean,
do that too.
Do they come in like, this is the color?
No,
You-
you can pick your colors, yeah. I mean, it's. Well, it depends on what you put over the concrete, right, or whatever they use for
Yeah, I
the
think,
padding.
I think it was a tile kind of thing.
Yeah, so you can pick.
yeah, I'm not allowed to pick colors.
I don't know much
Well, that
about
would be
colors. I
like
have
green
five in
and
my
yellow,
color.
and
Green and
yellow is
yellow.
not a good idea. It would be okay on the splash pad being a light
Right.
color, but pickleball, it would be not yellow for more than a season, I would assume.
Because you step on it.
With scuffs
Yeah.
and sneaker marks and everything else. I mean, green might be, okay, I don't think you want like
We gotta
super
have,
dark green for the splash pad.
you have to have offsetting colors for the out of bounds anyway, right? It can't be blue on green. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta be able to discern from a distance what the lines are. If they're white, yellow, they're still gonna get scuffed. There's not a good
Yeah.
color for a line that's not gonna get scuffed from tennis shoes. So
Right.
white, yellow, whatever. I know we jumped. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump,
Okay.
but it was on my mind.
Well, that's okay.
With the shed, it's gonna be able to be locked.
It comes
I
with
mean,
some
that's
latch.
kind of the obvious, but I would imagine we wanna make sure so that we don't have vandalism and all that other stuff going on.
Hobos.
Yeah,
No, that vandalism
I
only
don't want
happens
you
in
to
the
find
back.
anyone living in there.
Yeah, let's not go down that road again.
We've never had that issue.
That guy was
Never.
not happy with me.
Okay. So, you still have to go in front of the finance.
Yeah, I
Your
gotta, that's the
proposal,
whole budget thing
right?
coming up in March.
Okay. All right.
Now it's the time to give it, at least give it a shot, you know?
Mhm.
Everybody knows what's going on up there. They know it's an issue,
Yeah,
and hopefully this would be a good resolve.
okay. Excuse me. All right, that sounds good. Okay, and then as you said, the gator was fixed, yes,
Mhm.
and then the lawnmowers are in the process.
Mhm.
Okay, is there anything else?
He's
that
just
we-
wrapping up his snow blower season, so they hold up for the gap and they could sneak him in one at a time. I said, no problem.
Okay,
I was really surprised. I brought the gator in there. It cost me $250 to get that whole system fixed up. That was cheap. I was figuring 6 to 1,000.
okay,
He's good to us.
anything else?
Well, I have a whole bunch of ideas, but I gotta have some conversations before we can come up with them.
Mhm.
I did get a call from, I know you guys got the spray park going on conversation. Is that coming up soon?
Yeah, when we get to Wally Park, so yeah,
I got a call from Riley Electric. They had a bunch of questions, so I went up there and got him all his answers for him as far as the power goes. So he's all set.
okay.
Did you want to mention anything about the lights we were talking about on that, on the spray?
Yeah, if you want to get into the spray park, yeah, I had a couple of suggestions. I've been going through that manual. Finally, I got the book from Rob, and it gives me all the information I need on what that whole thing is all about, what it's really gonna need and all that, and I still got some reading to go, but there's gonna be some things to it. But one of the things I picked up on right away is lighting. John,
Oh, can you unmute him? Or
Oh,
he's
you
got
shut
on
it
He's
down.
himself?
unmuted. Oh, I can unmute him.
Yes,
there you are. Was there any provisions made for lighting for that spray park?
not really.
The two things I picked up while looking at the plans and the location and everything that goes on up there. And the two concerns that I had was that some lighting to keep it lit up so it can easily be seen, whether, you know, when you're in the light, bugs have a tendency to scatter and they won't hang on it. There's a lot of poles there and I'm worried about them goofing off. But the camera system that we have on the pavilion that monitors the bathroom, if we could get one of those cameras either moved or another one added to cover this spray park. So it's watching that spray area 24/7. That would cut down on a lot of issues at nighttime and anything that happens during the day. We'll have a record of anything that happens. Somebody falls and they say they did this, that, or the other thing while they were there. You'd have the film to back it up. But, you know, with the cameras at the bathroom, they show people walking in and out. I can't use that with the police department for any damage that's been done. Cause you can't prove they did it, they just went in. If somebody's out there messing around with outside and the camera catches them breaking the spray park, well, now I have access to have the police go after them. So I was thinking that maybe we had, at this point of the game, we can have a camera and a light added.
I think that's a great idea, David.
It's only, 4.5 feet down. If you make it all right, backing out.
And we can get that at the next time we have a spray park meeting, I'll bring it up.
And it's a bony.
I had them add a water tap. Because where they're gonna be at down there, the closest water is the ladies' room at the pavilion. So in order to keep that thing clean, pressure washed or whatever you gotta do down there, you're gonna have to run out all kinds of hose out in order to get down there to get it taken care of. So they're bringing in a water main and they had to move the parts into the box, so everything's right there. They're gonna add a tap for high pressure tap, so we'll have water right there at the spray park.
Coming
They
off
didn't
the
have that.
pavilion,
Pardon?
coming off the pavilion.
Yeah, well, it's gonna come from the water there, but it's gonna be right there inside a lock cabin.
Mhm.
No, but we'll have it, so if we needed to do something there, because these things have to be flushed, things are gonna have to be pressure washed.
Well, we're running water and electricity out to it anyway. There's no
Yeah.
reason we couldn't throw up a light pole same time.
Yeah, but the closest one's over by the intersection of the walkways by the driveway. And then after that, and there's another one over by the actual playground area. So having something right there by that to keep it lit up. Because usually at night, every now and then, the cruisers will go through there, and if they're hanging on it, cops will see them. If it's in the dark, they won't. But one street light there would go a long way. Doesn't have to, be super bright, just enough to not be in the dark. That was just my thought. You guys can talk it over.
Will we have to ask for more funding for that? I mean, I'm sure it's not that extreme, but will we have money to be able to do that? We can do it, right?
I think we left extra money on the budget,
Mm-hmm,
but if it doesn't cover it, we'll have to go back to the CPC.
okay. Or, yeah. All right, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. I guess we worry about it when it actually is gonna happen.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay,
And then just talk to Paul about what it would take to get a camera feed over there.
While we got Dave's attention, I was thinking that the pickleball courts should run. The road after the last bathroom, going towards the cul-de-sac.
mm-hmm,
I think they should be up on that field. The back of the back field. Right there, so people can park and they'll have a bathroom right there. And you have the 4 pickleball courts right there. And that would also lead for an expansion if there's more demand for newer additional ones.
You're talking about the field that nobody uses right now with the
Right.
bad moss? Yeah, that's
Right
what I was.
back
kinda
by the
thinking.
sidewalk though, going along the back of it.
That's what I thought would be a decent spot, because you've got the bathrooms right there too.
We got some parking there and I could always find a place to park down there.
so is that, do we have to vote on that?
Yeah.
Do we have to vote on where we're gonna put it?
We probably
No.
should. No?
We don't, do we have to? Not really. Once we have a vendor, we can get drawings from them and then approve those. As part of the drawing will be their location.
Right, so we just tell the vendor where we want it,
Right.
where we're gonna agree to it to be.
Well, they might also say not acceptable. I don't know.
I don't know,
Let
sheet
them
of paper
decide.
around where it went.
But we want them right in a location right near the 3rd bathroom.
My drawing board.
Okay. So I think that's pretty much,
Yeah, unless anybody is opposed to it,
no.
let's
Quite
do that.
frankly, I mean,
Okay.
where it's gonna be most convenient, I think, is probably,
Yeah,
It's
it's got
gonna
the
happen.
bathroom right there, so.
yeah, okay. So we have that established?
Yep.
Okay,
Well, if you guys move it down there, that means that that bottom bathroom has been traditionally always locked unless somebody's
Yep.
using the field down there. So now you're gonna have
That
another
might
bathroom
change.
unlocked,
Yeah, that will have to change.
which
Yeah.
goes back to the question from before. The door locks systems. Have you thought anything more about auto locking those doors? It doesn't have to be super elaborate, just needs to function.
I thought we agreed upon, I thought we voted on
Yeah, I
that.
think we kind of tabled them.
We did?
Yeah, we didn't vote on anything.
I know what my
Okay,
vote
so-
is.
Can
What?
I still have my vote in my mind.
Go ahead.
I just pull it out of my pocket. Huh?
Go ahead, what was your,
Well, I don't remember all the exact
Neither do I.
quotes. If we we don't need the locks right now, but if.
Right, I
if
was
we
gonna-
could maybe do them for the next meeting, so I
Yes.
can review everything.
that's what I was gonna
Let's do
suggest. Can we put that back on the agenda then?
Yep.
We all agree with that?
Can we get somebody who has the design and cost of these things?
Yeah, cause we had two quotes, but we were joking about one of them and, I mean, not like that, but we kinda,
It was high, right?
yeah, it
It's really
it was a
high.
lot of money for it. We liked the design or whatever, but it was a lot of
But
money.
it also needed
So,
Wi-Fi
So do
connection.
you remember the detail?
I just remember it was about 3x.
it was a
Yeah.
lot. So
We
we'll
only-
put it
that
back
was
on the agenda, you guys?
Sure.
So you
Sounds
had-
good.
you had a Couple quotes and
We'll
then
see
you
if we
went
can-
real elaborate on it and the price went through the roof. and
Yeah,
then went to a
'cause
different company.
I
Yeah, but
remember
we
the
had-
whole
more
Cadillac
We
expensive.
had the quotes for
Yeah.
four
Right.
doors, but now we're gonna need
Right.
6. Yeah,
And
if
we
we
had
could
the
do it
whole-
next meeting.
that analogy with the Cadillac and yada yada,
Is there
so.
any more discussion about Wi-Fi up there in any shape, form or fashion? No?
I don't know.
No,
I think it needed a repeater and its own dedicated equipment and stuff. I don't know, John, do you recall?
I don't, but I can look into it. I have people that would know. Mike, you have any clue?
Think there's a person or two we could talk to, so.
Yeah. Maybe
Mike
you
always
could do
knows.
that for me.
Yeah, 'cause
Absolutely.
There are other lock systems that are available that aren't so damn expensive if you had Wi-Fi. You could really bring those numbers way down.
okay.
Complicated isn't always cheap,
Mhm.
that's
So
for sure.
what do we, how far are we looking at Wi-Fi coming to the town as far as that whole, What do you
That would
call
be
it,
nice
the
to
high
hold
speed?
those two hostage.
That's like a couple of years.
Jason.
Oh, it's still a
Yeah, they're
couple
still
years
doing-
away? Alright,
They're
so
still
forget
evaluating
that.
vendors. and
Oh,
stuff, it's my
Okay,
understanding.
so that's not a good option.
Trust me, I've got my 2 weeks Comcast notice already typed.
You're giving them 2 weeks? I'm just gonna call them and tell them I'm done.
I'm a nice.
Come pick it up.
person.
So we'll put both of those things on the back on the agenda. And try to work on them while we're still picking our spot and breaking ground and all that fun stuff. What is the time frame for the pickleballs to be done? Is there anything stated in that, was there anything stated in the application?
I don't think so. We gotta get them designed first. Actually, we have to find someone that builds them,
Had a couple quotes.
got the
Last week.
experience. They're pretty complicated to build.
Yeah, we had a couple of quotes with them. I don't know if that's the people that we're using.
Alright, so we're gonna put that back on the agenda. And,
I don't mean to be adding work to your day.
no,
No, this
but
is, no.
we did have it was, we can put it back on the agenda, definitely, we should, cause I know we looked at stuff. And I guess we didn't decide
We did,
wholeheartedly,
we
we just looked
didn't.
at
we have to put it back on the agenda to, I mean, we got
a few
location,
things. Yeah,
right?
John,
So
is
it's
this
okay
something that
pick a
has to go out to
location, but
bid?
we don't have-
right,
Yeah, unless we have Crestview do it. I don't know
Well, I
if they
mean-
have any expertise in that.
With the price of the project, we can just say Crestview is gonna do it kind of thing, but
well,
Yeah,
we have to,
they have
but
the
the-
town contract. They're all excavating work.
yeah, maybe we could send an email to the company to see. I don't know if they use their own site people or if Crestview did the site and they just came in and finished off with all the tile and everything else.
Yeah,
Once that's done,
I thought the company did everything.
yeah, that's what they gave the quote for,
Oh,
but I don't know if they'd split it like that
Oh.
way kind of thing,
alright.
or if they even wanna work that way.
Right, no idea.
You have them? Alright. So,
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
review that again next
we'll
week.
put that for our agenda for our meeting as well. And, we'll go from there. Okay. So. Alright, we kind of jump around.
We're all over the place.
We are. Alright, moving to Heritage Lawn Treatment Plan 2024.
So Heritage provided two separate quotes. One with the lower field and one without the lower field.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah, I
we-
sent it out in an email.
That's what can you look at it? Well, I need to excuse this for one second. That was because we asked for that because of the
The
Pickleball
pickleball construction. and-
possibility, yeah.
Yeah, I think we go
And
without
the-
having them do the lower field this year. That's my feeling on it. And then once the construction's done and
Just knowing that,
next year, get it.
yes, just knowing that once construction is done and everything else is done and we go to put that back in, it's a total reconstruction on that. It's not like, you can put the, the normal things down, you're gonna have to plow that thing down and start over, you know what I mean? So
Which we're close to that point now.
we are
anyways. Yeah.
absolutely nearly there anyway, you're right.
There's something living in the middle of the field right now.
Groundhogs.
Yeah, somebody moved in,
The guy that got.
a hole about 8 inches across going down into the ground. No, he's got till spring to move out or I'm evicting him humanely. I'll talk to him.
Okay.
I'll find him a new home.
Any ideas on
You need
the
him?
fertilizer for this year? Skip the lower field and just go with the quote for everything but the lower field?
Do we have an idea that on the pickleball, when they'll start, is it probably 2025, right?
I don't see why I would skip the bottom field.
With the fertilizer and stuff?
Yeah. It still can be used as a field just because you have pickleballs on those. That's a big area down there.
It is, but my recollection is that I think it's gonna take a little bit more than the treatment to bring it back to something that you would utilize. I think it needs a lot of work. I
Half,
think it needs
half,
more
half
than,
that field is pure crabgrass.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it got that way with all the crabgrass treatment it's supposed to be getting. It just took off.
Dam, installation, dredging.
I think those fields are in
Sand.
bad enough shape to where just doing applications on it aren't gonna help.
Construction oversight, monitor.
You're talking like reseeding it?
Starting over. Yeah.
You can do what I do with my fields, just kill them and overseed.
Should we maybe wait till the pickleball is done and then do that?
Oh, sure.
Right, okay.
Because we're gonna have to do a lot of grading, because I'm pretty sure they're elevated. Drawings I saw.
The courts themselves.
Yeah. We gotta figure out something, because, they got fertilizer going down so much for so long, and you can't, it's hard to plant anything new up there, because the moment you plant something new, they come down with another batch of fertilizer and kill everything you just put in. It's like a catch-22. But taking it down to the bare dirt somehow, it was your best bet, starting new. We got the machines up there to spread the seed, we just need a clean canvas.
Well, I
Does
don't
that-
think anybody's using it. I think
I was
maybe
gonna say,
wait
does that make
until
sense
next
to do
year
that?
and then get it
Yeah.
done upright. That's my feelings.
Well, yeah, because you're gonna have construction equipment coming and going.
The pickleball
But,
court's only gonna be 120 by 60.
Yeah.
That's
so-
4 pickleball courts.
So probably fence it
So
all in
that,
around.
they're not gonna
before they
be
get going.
touching 3/4 of that field. If he's talking about lining it up with that lower parking lot, after you pass the shack heading toward the cul-de-sac, there's still gonna be 3/4 of that field. That field's pretty long.
Yeah, but
As long as you keep mowing it, it'll be fine.
That's what I think. I think we keep mowing.
When we
it.
get everything groomed and get ready
Oh,
to
yeah,
seat
keep
around the
going, keep-
pickleball courts, we'll
keep
do the whole
mowing it,
field.
yeah.
Yeah, I
yeah.
think that should
Maintaining
be
it,
what we should
Just
do.
don't, no
Keep it.
application for it, so.
Yeah, we mow
Oh, yeah,
it,
oh,
no
yeah.
applications, but. we
No
keep it
applications,
mowed.
but keep mowing it.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
Did you,
Unless it's good for hay, John, and you wanna take care of it in a couple times during the summer.
we need to get 3 bales out of it.
Or
I don't know. I don't
can you,
think
can you,
so.
can, how,
I
can you,
could
can you-
turn it into a great hay field, but I don't think that's the purpose.
Scott's got a grass guy. He's a grass scientist. And I'm gonna ask him some questions tomorrow about that. What can be done? Go ahead and get in there early in the super early spring and kill all the crabgrass with something heavy. Let it rest for a bit, York rake it down and maybe overseed the whole thing will be enough to get some grass growing in there till then. Let me find out what he thinks.
We good on that then?
Yep,
He's got great, the guy's great grass genius. I brought him up there, we walked that whole place and he told us all kinds of things that we needed to be done and we've been doing.
good then, good. Okay, spray pad, concrete color. So we kind of already talked about this, however, we need to agree upon a color, is that what we're doing here?
What do you think, John? Mike?
I've seen blue ones and I've seen green ones.
I'm just looking it up, just so I kind of. get an idea.
I'll go right here in Punta Gorda, we have where they do the nationals. I didn't note the color when I was there, but why don't I go back? I'll take you some pictures and send them.
You
They
need that
have,
color?
I don't know, 20 courts or something like that, and they have the national championships here.
Oh, you're talking pickleball? I thought we were talking
Pickleball.
Oh,
Spray
Oh, you
park?
talking about
Oh.
the spray park?
skate park.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though.
color coordinator.
I haven't visited many spray parks, so I have, no opinion on the color.
I
I've
visited a
seen
couple of them, but I don't
some
remember what color they were.
I don't either, and I've been around them like every time I umpire, there's those
Yeah.
things, and I never look at the bottom. I think green is good as anything, keep it like, you wanna go the town route.
I would
Yeah,
think,
green's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, that'll work.
Oh, some of these are,
Green it
yeah.
Green it is, Dave.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Now we're moving.
My splash pad color chart.
What do we got now?
Let's keep moving forward.
Yeah, keep
National
moving
dates.
forward. This other meeting is gonna go a long time.
The national dates?
National.
That
Day.
was earlier in June this year, I think.
Okay, so,
As long as you
Thought
have
we had
done
already
the park and rec stuff, so games don't get scheduled
Mhm.
for that weekend. I don't think anything else is really gonna interfere with it.
so that means it's going to be.
Gonna be a 88-degree.
It is
day
going to
Sunday.
be,
So it's not the week of June 24th.
no, June 29th.
It's a Saturday.
So June 29th is, nationals,
It's the weekend before the 4th.
correct? I'm not thinking that was wrong. All right, was there anything, just, we wanted to get the date down? Oh, weren't we,
We needed the date so we can start to talk about a couple things. One, scheduling fields, make sure nothing gets scheduled.
Right.
And then two, who's gonna work it and make sure that we've got a plan for that. Because we seem to figure it out like the week before, the meeting before.
mhm.
Yeah, we were on top of that.
Yeah, it is.
We were better on it
Maybe
last
putting
year.
coats on
We've
May's,
improved.
May's meeting.
Basically, no one wants to work it, and you can't
No.
find volunteers.
When I have another
So
job.
you guys are stuck with it.
I
I'll
don't
lose
like,
money.
I kinda like working.
Good numbers last year.
Yeah, we
very
did.
good.
I
Yeah.
think you got
Last year
everybody
was
else
good.
thinking to raise their prices this year. From what I hear.
Uh-oh.
Yep. It's gonna be $20.
Maybe put it so it comes up in May's meeting, so
Mm-hmm,
we get everything finalized.
yep. And we're, what was the other thing? I wanted to say about it. $20. Make sure we have our parking signs situated. I would like to suggest that, parking be done in intervals and not 8-10 hour shift, standing on hot blacktop. I'm not 25 anymore. So, kind of hard.
Not half of 25. or
I'm not even.
I have to take 25 away.
I don't disagree with you. It's just how many people we get for help, you know, it's a
Yeah,
big,
I know,
big,
I
big
get it.
fundraiser for us, so.
Yeah, in a perfect world, I get it. It's just something now, we talk about it now, just so that it's in the back of our heads, so that when dates come up or other things arise, we know that we have nationals on that day and we can kind of plan our lives around it.
Maybe email the schools and see if any National Honor Society folks want to get their hours and let them know the date.
Mm-hmm. Can do that. All right. The last part of Wally Park is park employees. So just, do we have to, I mean, basically what we can reiterate is when you were walking in, Doug was telling us about the park and rec manager position that you're trying to finalize job description, blah, blah, blah. We had asked if we could go ahead and start to post for, the part-time employee position so that we can get that started. And, so that's pretty much what you missed. So.
I asked what, a month ago, to put those signs up, over a month ago. I got 2 A-frames waiting to have sleeves put on each side. As soon as they tell me it's okay, and we're gonna put one up at Wally Park and one up in front of the town hall. I was told to hold up.
Who are you waiting to tell you okay?
Powers that be.
So how about I take the power and tell you to do it? This is, now mind you, just so we know, this is for the part-time people, not for the manager part. So we need to get something going. We need a pool of applicants.
Yeah, because we're getting closer than we think.
All right, so I don't see
I
why,
hate waiting the last minute on anything.
what do you have, like a poster kind of
But,
made up?
I have them written up and just gotta have them printed.
Oh, okay,
And so it'll be 2 signs, 2 A-frames, one on each side.
yeah,
One set here, one set at the mouth of the park, so people driving by the park or going to the park will see it and go, oh, hey, I'd love to do that. And hopefully fill out an application, because I haven't gotten a single one since May of the year before last.
okay.
I think part of the hesitation was making sure you guys were okay with that also.
Mhm.
Because we had talked
If
about,
you can do that, that would be great.
Yeah, we need whatever we can do to advertise it and
Get those and
Get it
mowers and
going.
hopefully we'll be.
I'm here to
good
serve
go.
at the leisure of the board.
that would be fine then, go for it.
Okay,
I think that would be helpful and we're gonna probably try to put the applications out there on some different sites or some different
Yeah.
job search engines that kind of generate some kind of pool of applicants. So, and we're gonna update the website, with just to update it so people see it, they don't think that it's an old posting.
posting says May of 2023. I don't think you're gonna get a lot of people applying.
no,
Consider-
not unless it has today's date or at least within a couple of weeks of today.
So I have a note to ask Jen to do that.
Can you ask Jim also to put it on channel 15, and on the town crier board, at Grist
Okay,
Mill?
yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
I think that would be helpful.
Got it.
All right, I think the park's good.
Yeah, we're good with Wally Park. We'll move on to the rail trail.
Yep.
Did you have something else? Nope. Oh, shoot, I did.
Softball field.
Yeah.
I think that covers everything for me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, under new business.
Well, I probably should. Not on the agenda.
You're home and mourn the passing of my favorite food processor.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
fill them in on my idea
Robo,
before I take off.
go ahead.
I come up with an idea. I started looking at it last year. And I had a meeting with the guys today up at Wally Park from Crest. And is robotic mowers. So they were up there, we looked over everything, and I've got a bunch of literature, and I'm waiting on numbers and concepts and designs to see if it's viable. These mowers are commercial grade mower, and they're available 168 hours a week to mow grass. They would take that park mowing and put it into a 24-hour a day operation. The biggest complaints we get for the last few years has been that the different heights of the grass, they didn't like them. Because, you know, they mow, and by the time they get back again to mow again, it's already grown a couple inches, especially with the rainy season last year. These machines would mow every single night, every single day, forever. It's an incredible machine. I'm gonna be setting up a demo, cause I'd like to have all you guys come if it's something that we can look at. It's just looking at it. Nobody's making any kind of agreements or anything like that. But you take one and you put a parking station in the little cubby on the back of the bathroom up in the front. You do another one at the pavilion, you do another one at the garden down below, the bathroom down below. And these things are driven by the satellites. They're given a mapping sequence and they follow it. They can lead lag, so they can switch mowing one direction to another direction, so you're not constantly mowing. Because right now, one of the problems with everybody mowing the same way is it leaves ruts in the grass. They can mow through the dark. They don't need light. It's an incredible setup. The city of Westfield is looking into these for all their parks, and they get ready to move with the same company. 80% of what's being done up there is mowing. If you alleviate all the mowing, it cuts down on people. And the good people that you can get can be focused on doing things like line striping, weed whacking, gardening, cleaning, maintenance work and things along those lines to get them off the mowers. The maintenance on these things is extremely easy. The blades are on a time cycle that are generated through the program. So after they've been running for X amount of hours, it tells you it's time for a blade change. You run up, the blades swap out in about 15 minutes. And then the machine is back into action. They can't be stolen. They can try, but they can't be.
What prevents them from being stolen?
Well, the moment they move within 15 feet of the boundary parameters, it sends out a distress call. And that comes to me, it comes to the program and notifies the police department. And then the program will tell you exactly where that thing is sitting. And they'll go get it. And if they try to take it apart, every single part has a code number on it in order to order the part. And because of the way that their systems run, that if somebody decided they needed a part for it after they broke it or whatever, and they called in to have the part replaced, once they gave them that part number, that would trigger an alert. And again, the local law enforcement will respond. And so they're finding out that these are not being stolen. And you can hook these up to a regular charging system using electricity. They can be done with solar. They'll put a tower in if needed. If there's 3 towers within 35 miles of the park, I think there's already 2, and they're planning on a 3rd. You don't even need to have Wi-Fi or anything because their towers take care of it. It's a pretty amazing thing, and you can stage it if you don't want to do everything. Cutting those fields to a 2-inch length at a 1/2 inch a mow, or doing it to 3 inch, cutting down 1.5 inches to 3 inch makes a world of difference in the way everything works up there. The biggest problem we had the year before last was getting that 1-inch thick mat of grass out from between the grass and the ground. And that was up there with the guy that was doing the what's his face there? I'm having a brain fart. But anyway, the sprinklers were running for 20 minutes And when they shut off, we went over, we pulled the grass back and the ground was dry.
Hmm.
So we alleviated all that, so everything's getting straight through. So once grass gets to a point where you can maintain a proper level, if we're hacking off a half inch or an inch, 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7 times a week, it's going right down to fertilizing the grass. If we're going up there and we're cutting off 3 inches at a time and trying to bag it, you can, I was up there mowing one day, you can do 3 passes across the back of the 90, and then you gotta run clear across the park to dump it. And then come all the way back and do it again for 3 more passes.
Right.
If we can
Double
get that,
work.
there's no reason why we can't get that grass to a point where there's no bagging, period. Let the grass take care of its grass. And when you're up there and you're mowing, these things are going 24/7, they're always up doing something somewhere. That grass is gonna maintain that exact height all the time. And I know the baseball players and the soccer players would love it.
When are you setting up your demo?
Well, they're putting some things together and gonna line up a time once we get some clear ground,
Mhm.
and they'll bring some machines up.
Yeah, be interested in seeing it and hearing
Yeah.
more.
I'd like to see it.
I'd like to see the
Could
demo.
explore pricing possibly for the next meeting, just, and see where that comes in too.
I was
Yeah.
really surprised at the cost. Now, these are high scale commercial items that are gonna be great. I've done some research into some other ones that are just about as good a quality. And they're only running anywhere between $25 and $3,000 a piece. And these probably gonna come in, I'm just a wing and a prayer guess, so probably 4 to 7, which is still a hell of a lot cheaper than buying one Tiger. I mean, my mower was an Exmark Laser Z. I bought that thing in 2003, and I paid $7,500 for it back then. These new mowers now are going 18, 20,000, and the mowers up there right now are rattling themselves apart. They've been used so much.
Yeah, I'd like to see those when you get them.
Yeah, it's quite,
Yeah.
it's quite like, well, it's
Check 'em
what I'd
out.
like to have you guys, put the invite, have you guys all come out and witness what these things can do. If you look at it as what it is and what its capabilities are, it's amazing. And it was funny because we're talking with the guy today and I mentioned that we were gonna be meeting tonight about putting that shed there. Well, next to the shed, you cut a small hole in the fence. And then you put one of these stations right there. So it comes out and because a 90-foot is always locked up. So that would have a smaller one of these. His main job is to keep that 90 at 2 inches. That's his only job, and it would be a smaller one, so it'd be a couple grand, but that grass would be mowed every night. Imagine what that thing, I mean, look how good it looks once it's mowed regularly. But if you can maintain a nice grass cutting pattern on that, and then every couple of days it changes direction. And then they actually have patterns for diamonds that you can pre-program in, because that field is done to a specification that these machines can follow. So they can do patterns on the diamond, they can do patterns in the field, whatever you choose to do. But it would just add a whole different level of grass care to that park. And if you wanted to have somebody still do some mowing, well, the outlying areas around the outer band, still some mowing's gonna need to be done there. And then the spots like where the cisterns are.
Yeah, cause that's not,
Yeah, those, you wouldn't
Right.
put those in. They'll handle a 30% grade.
oh, okay.
They'll climb that hill with a sinus.
Mhm.
That's no problem.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, I'd be interested in the demo.
It's a pretty amazing.
Okay.
Here's if you wanna take a peek. I'll leave this with you. You guys can look at it at your leisure. The name of the company, pronounce that right, is Kress, Kress. If you wanna do a little search on it, check out their products. But it is the same company that Westfield's looking at also. They're gonna be doing Bowlins and all their park.
Perfect. Take a look.
Yeah, can't hurt, right?
Nope.
Definitely answers a lot of questions and it solves a lot of problems. Not to mention no more maintenance on the machines like we're having now, breakdowns. I mean, the last time, what was it, $2,800 to rebuild that cam? Nope.
Yeah.
So they come in sizes based on your acreage?
Yeah, based on what you're gonna be doing.
Okay.
And then if they need what happens when it starts to get low, it heads home, recharges and turns around, goes right back to where it left.
I didn't know you invent this. Wow.
Technology is rocketing. These guys would know.
Alrighty, thank you for
I'll
that.
keep you updated on it.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
would you like to look at that? I just
Can I
gonna-
get
Never
it?
pass out things at a meeting, because everybody stops and looks at it.
Look at
Yeah.
some too.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. You guys have a great night.
You too.
Let me
Thank
know
you,
what
you
wanna
too.
propose to that tree.
Yeah, I'll probably shoot up there, maybe tomorrow. It should be a little warmer.
Need a hand, give me a call.
Okay,
No,
yeah, it's not that big. It's
I'll work
only,
with you.
it's, I'll see you later.
All right, buddy.
Okay,
Jeannie.
good night. Yes,
Can I go to my other meeting now?
yeah, go ahead. We're just gonna wrap up,
Yeah.
we only got a couple things, John.
Okay,
I told him I couldn't make it cause I had this meeting, so,
I lost them on this.
alright, go ahead. We'll see ya.
Bye.
Good night.
Aye.
Bye.
Alright, moving on, rail trail.
Rail trail, I put in a grant for the access down by the rail trail ale house, through the state, so won't find out anything on that until June, but that was submitted. I got a email from the Friends of the Rail Trail and Christy Banish. They're looking to do a few projects on the trail this year. Staining the kiosk was one of them. Another one, they want to put markings along where the trail crosses all the streets, just to put the street intersections names, so people from out of town know where they are, basically, which kind of tie in with the monument thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, we have a couple things I talked to David Sutton about, one part by Sam West Road with drainage. Hopefully he's gonna get his tractor out there and get the water redirected away. And I think that was the only other thing.
Very good.
Okay. Thank you.
I wish I could stretch it out, but.
That's okay.
Then we have the memory bench on there.
Yeah, what's that?
Somebody for his dog, I think Kara mentioned it to me, it would be on the other side of the bridge where the Rail Trail Ale House is. We have one on one side, we've got a
We
bench
do,
already,
yeah.
but this would be on the other side where there's no bench,
Headed,
headed towards Speeding Hills Road.
yep, okay. Does this person know like the deal?
Yeah, I think you told him the cost and he was,
And he said,
I think he's gonna try to fundraise
okay,
also, and, cause the concrete's very expensive.
yeah,
The bench itself, like, not bad, but when you add the concrete, so
pouring the pad,
he would like to do it though.
okay.
He said that he walks the trail all the time with his dog. He has 2 dogs. And this one particular dog, Tyson, would stop along the rail trail and always sit on the benches, and he loved to just like sit. So I know, it's very sad. So he felt like it was a great place to do a memory bench for his dog,
Well,
because he walked it frequently, and he
That's
loved
nice.
benches, so.
is he gonna get back to you about it?
He wants to know what we think, if we would welcome another bench on the trail, so it's kind of in our court.
I'd be fine with it.
I think,
Yeah, I mean, we really don't have a lot of them.
Yeah,
I think
be honest.
application,
I'm fine with it.
And I mean, and if you're also looking at if we ever get that ramp in there too, that can kind of be a little area that is gonna end up being built up a little bit
Fairly
anyway.
close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we're welcome
okay,
if he wants to do that.
okay, I will let him know.
Mm-hmm.
On Wally Park, did we kind of skip over? We were gonna
What did we
talk about the
skip over?
softball field.
I have to put it in new business.
Oh,
Not
okay,
on the agenda.
sorry,
Yeah, I can.
I'm out of order.
You're out of order.
All right, we're done with the rail trail?
Yep.
Okay. Children's Easter egg hunt,
It'll be a cold one this year,
I think so.
March 29th, I think.
So the weekend before,
The
we
way
usually do it.
Easter is weird again this year, right?
Yeah, it's early.
Are you taking charge of that? Or,
Unless you want to.
no,
So are we on for it?
I'll do it if we're gonna do it.
I'll be around, so.
It would be March what?
22nd, I think. Is that the Saturday?
Wait, it's just gonna be on a Saturday?
Is it usually Saturday or Sunday?
Wow, this is cutting into my NCAA tournament time.
Well, it'll be before it starts,
It
no?
will.
So it'll be on the 23rd, no?
Yep, it would. Saturday.
Yeah,
I'll have to look at my calendar.
Okay.
for Easter's on the 31st, right? Yeah, so it'll be 23rd.
Yeah,
Kara, do you
Yeah.
have somebody to help to fill the eggs, or are we eating
The seniors
everything?
have been helping do that.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Good.
They've been doing a great job at it, quite honestly.
oh yeah, can we get a, do we need any more eggs?
Probably, I usually get like 1,000, because we have like
You do
1,000
more?
left over,
Okay.
so I'll pick up some eggs and the candy.
Okay, and we need a Easter bunny.
Yes, hopefully one of the NHS, I already sent a email giving her a heads up, because I don't know when her meeting was, the NHS meeting. So hopefully we'll get an NHS volunteer.
10.
Sounds good.
If
And
not,
then,
Set
I'll
up
make
at
my daughter do it.
9:30.
okay. And then our, we're sticking with our 3 age groups.
It's been working.
Yeah,
Yep,
worked out
all
fine.
right, I'm cool with that.
Seems like a smooth running event.
Sure. Maybe pre-make a sign or something.
We have one now.
We
Wait,
do?
what do you mean?
Oh, we have our Easter egg sign. We need our ages signs.
Oh, yeah. I think I still have them.
Do you?
Mhm.
Okay, if you don't, I'll volunteer to, go to the dollar store and make a few.
Okay.
Just let me know. You write that down, then I'll volunteer to do that along with the rest of my life. Alrighty, so we're good with that? Oh, time frame?
Yeah, it's usually 11.
I thought it was 10, but I could be wrong.
No, because remember the lady who complained because she said we posted it on somewhere?
Yep.
Is 10 better?
Well, might be a
Might be
little
kinda
chilly
cold.
depending on the
Yeah,
weather.
Yeah.
11 was good.
We'll do 11?
11 to
They'll be running around, they'll get warm.
Okay, so
You
what do you
gotta run to
think?
get those eggs. I mean, that's part of the deal.
Oh, you're right. You think 10 or 11?
8:15.
All right, 8:15, no,
That lady
We'll do it
complained.
at 10.
you wanna do it at 10?
Yeah, 10's fine. It's
Yeah.
cold, it's cold. Well, last year, right?
All right.
Didn't it?
Yeah, last year it rained. We had to do it under the.
Oh, yeah,
pavilion,
that's
remember?
right. I forgot what year that, it was that.
10 AM.
Okay.
Last year was cold the year before it rained.
Yeah,
Last year was cold. All right, 10 AM, March 23rd. That's good. All right, moving on. Old business, dog park. Do we have anything?
No, Sarah was gonna join us, but she's not here, so.
Okay, can we just keep dog park on old business? I think we kind of beat up the cultural council stage with the shed. So I mean, we can leave it on there, but pending shed plans, right? The Gaga pit,
I haven't heard anything at
okay,
all. I wasn't sure if he had a meeting tonight.
all right, so we'll leave it on there.
Okay.
Yeah. Jason was here.
Jason was here. And he left.
Okay.
Oh, we'll leave that on there.
The unfortunate thing is I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I could have had him go.
I didn't either.
I really didn't. Thought he was just sitting in and I just realized.
Yeah,
It was weird because Doug left, he stayed for a minute, and so I thought he was staying for that, and then all of a sudden, we were doing the troubleshooting and he was
Yeah.
gone, and I just kinda,
Yeah,
cause that's what I thought he was here for.
okay, so
so
no,
we'll put him on old business.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, new business, which would be the last item for the night would be, the softball field.
you want me to bring that up? Do you want to?
Go ahead. Do you have any updates?
No, I have no updates, but I have some questions.
Go ahead.
What is the plan to do, or what is the plan for the dirt and the maintenance around? I thought we were cutting back the field, and what is and moving the fence? What is an update on all of that?
Okay, so
Is that what you want me to?
that's why we were gonna discuss it.
Yeah,
The field needs to be fixed.
for sure.
The fence, we had this incredibly high quote. And I found another fence company that I'd like to get another quote from. I'd welcome anybody else with a fence company, you know, if you have an idea, you can text me or email me a company. And you know, and if the quotes come in drastically different, you know, I thought it was almost like 28,000
Oh my gosh,
to move the fence, right?
It's expensive.
So,
to possibly have a college team play there,
correct,
a Division III college team.
correct. Right.
No offense.
No,
Just saying.
but in all reality, is I would hope that we're not just gonna do it for that, we're gonna do it to
Correct.
kind of make it so that it is, it can attract a lot more. It can attract a lot more people than just, our
Old
Sunday
people's softball. I
co-ed,
mean,
correct.
yeah, that's what I meant.
So with that being said, I don't know how that dirt is gonna look in the spring,
I do, but
you already looked at it?
no, it's clay. So
Probably gonna be the same as.
it's going to look the same.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna need to we're gonna need to probably get dirt that's gonna need to,
If dirt
replace it.
goes, well, I don't know about replacing it. I think
Go
if
over
dirt
it.
goes over it, you're gonna be fine, because I think if you mix some
You need a lot
softball
of,
dirt,
lot of
you
sand.
need a
in that
lot of
stuff
it.
to make-
Yeah, you need a lot of sand in it, but if you get the right mix, and you mix it with the clay, I think it'll actually do well.
which we could probably get sand and start with the sand to make the clay. So.
We also have to work on leveling out
Yeah.
the field and, yeah.
So, I had a guy a couple years ago, I got a quote from him he was gonna, he gave me a quote to redo the 90 and to redo the softball field. I cannot remember his name and I have an email, I have a quote, I just have to go through my emails. Cause I save all my Park and Rec stuff, and then I can either revisit with this guy, see what his quote was.
Granby or something.
I think so,
Yeah.
but he did a lot of the fields in Westfield.
Cause remember
that's
those
how I
baseball
got
guys
his
brought
name.
that up and you were like, yeah.
Yeah, and then it kinda got
Yeah.
squashed. And so I'm gonna try to see if I can find that.
Yeah.
And yes, it does need to be done.
Well, I think being the end of February now and when's your softball season start up, the
April.
adult? Okay, so I think being, we have no maintenance people. I think it would be worth like having your guy that you had the quote from,
Mhm.
getting that done, have him
Mhm,
cut out your grass and
mhm.
redo the whole
Yeah.
thing and just get it done. I think we have money in the
Yeah,
Wally Park special account, so I think we should just go ahead and do that.
Alright.
Is that something we can do without involving maintenance?
I think we could,
Okay, then I think we
I think
should,
we could, right? Yeah,
do we have to make a motion on this or?
I think what we should just do is, probably, I find the email, find this guy, if not, I have somebody that I know that knows the guy, so I can reconnect with this gentleman, get him back out there, get that going to see what we can get for a price with that. I think we would have to purchase the dirt, but he will tell us what kind of dirt we need to get and all that.
And how
then-
much. and-
yeah. Yeah, and then get the quote for the fence. Fence doesn't have to be I mean, I think the infield probably and the dirt should be the priority,
Because
then
that's
the
kind of a
fence comes.
liability, having people playing on that when it's wet.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's.
and we'll get it lined right
Priority.
and get the bases lined and everything right,
Yep.
so we can do that.
And I think there was an issue with, we were gonna go measure and I never got back to you, the mound and all that.
Yeah, I was
Right.
thinking about that, like if we move the backstop, then we're moving the mound and then we're moving the whole field thing. But I don't think we really have to
That
do
might
that
be
if
ambitious.
we're not doing the fence right
Right.
away.
There is a second part to the fence too, that
Mm-hmm.
I think I think the priorities are safety,
Mhm.
right? And then aesthetics, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
right? So safety is two things. It's the dirt and the.
Are you waiting for someone?
It's-
I was sitting downstairs
Oh.
educating myself on the employment, economic.
Thank you, Diane.
So, I apologize.
No worries.
Wrong meeting.
Wrong meeting, but, wildly beneficial.
Who'd you get to listen to?
A whole bunch of social and economic impacts on the town and,
Awesome. That's the meeting I was in. They kicked me out.
You're still awake?
yes, still awake.
They were like, "You're in the wrong meeting."
I should have asked. My apologies. Sorry for being
All
late.
right, no problem. We're finishing up with
Yep.
our last topic and then we'll go to you,
Oh, perfect.
okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
So just finish that. So the dirt, because that's obviously real obvious safety. And then the other thing is the, it has to do with the fencing. It's the, gates that some of them close, some of them don't. Some of them lock, some of them don't. And you've got kids that are with families that are watching the softball and the ones that don't close. It is extremely possible that there are errant throws that go through that, 3.5 foot gap that can hit kids or dogs or old people, right? Or younger people, doesn't matter, can hit anybody. And we need to get that addressed pretty quickly.
Think again, being a lack of maintenance people, we should probably just call a fence guy and have that taken care of here
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah, and that'll be part of, that. And if anything, we can at least get the gates fixed
Correct, yeah,
properly.
yeah, hung in.
Yeah, because they're hung
Some of them
backwards,
are
they're
hung
hung
backwards, yeah.
backwards.
At least one of them is, I'm not sure about the
Yes.
other one, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
I don't know how you do that, but it was done.
yep. Sometimes I wonder that.
I mean, I think I know how it was done, but just.
In the back corner. Yeah. All right, so I would do the two things is look for the guy. Either way, I'll get his name. And then I will get, the phone call for the quote on the fence and then see if we can't find some other companies.
And we have time, so if we can have that for the next meeting, then we can make a motion to make it happen, right?
Mhm.
So, okay,
Mhm.
cool,
Sound good?
sounds good. to me.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in favor of it.
Okay, and because our meetings are everywhere tonight, we can go back to one of our topics. The dog park.
If you get in trouble for
Thank
one thing,
you
get in
very
trouble
much.
for
I appreciate it a lot for you guys.
Sorry,
extending
we
some
sat in
extra-
another meeting and.
Hey, like I said, wildly informative, so I gained some education out of sitting in there.
There you
My
go.
apologies for keeping you any later this evening.
No
No
worries.
problem.
I guess what I just wanted to approach you guys with, this evening is there is no rush whatsoever. I know at our previous meeting, we talked about a timeline. I just know certain grants need to be proposed between April and July, and I just wanted to touch base with the town because again, I don't want to do anything without the town's permission.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to look into things. There's quite a few of various grants that are out there, all the way from landscaping and shade structures to putting the whole entire park together. It's just a matter of properly presenting the plan, having the community back you, having a representative write a note that supports the idea. Maybe a possible area to which we could think about maybe doing construction with, things of that nature. So with that said, there's many of them going, and I would love to be able to at least attempt some of them to see what maybe I could generate on my own, just through talking and being the social butterfly that I am. So maybe that'll help. And overall, as I have already discussed, the goal is to make sure that this is very low financial impact on the town of Southwick itself. If I can figure out a way to get this completely funded, I absolutely am. Again, as expressed before, it's usually anywhere from about $15,000 to $30,000 to establish a dog park. So with grants of, for instance, Pet Safe Bark Park, right? You write a letter, you have a civic leader propose a letter, photos of a future spot, possible blueprints, a community summary of what ways the community has shown support. They differentiate who they feel deserves more. And they give anywhere from 25, 50, 75 to 100K in grants. That would blow what the expectations of this
That would be
dog
amazing.
park are completely out of the water. I mean, I didn't even realize until I started fully investigating into some of these foundations or, I should say grants that, I mean, they'll come in and they'll completely design the whole entire park for you. No cost. Then they provide you all the equipment, people who do signage, structuring, safety precautions, things like that. So kind of, they all go hand in hand. You just have to send out the grants kind of in their own little branches and hope each person grabs them, which, it can be a thorn in people's side on occasion if I'd like. So that's easy, you know.
Works.
Getting a grant can be, I think I can do that fairly easy. And then just through speaking with other people, especially throughout the town and other communities, this was an idea that I thought of. I don't know if it would be beneficial for you guys come May, if when we do sit down with actual, other members and propose this idea or project, I should say. If I had a list of signatures from people in the community that actually supported it, if that would show kind of more, I guess, gusto behind it on more people actually wanting it. It's tough with social media. Some people aren't a part of it, some people are. So I think if I had the ability to actually talk to people one-on-one and explain what the, you know, what our concerns are, what our thought process is behind it, what we're looking for, what the benefits it would have for the community, things in that nature. I believe with that said, it probably hit home with quite a few people.
Are you
And
getting signatures already, or you haven't started that part?
I haven't started that part. It actually got suggested to me after our initial meeting. So before I went out there and started collecting all these signatures, again, I didn't want to step on any toes. This is wildly new for me. So I just wanted to make sure that I had prior approval before I went out and did that.
I think we had talked about it before and
Yeah,
it sounded like it was a good idea.
Okay.
I
yeah.
think the location is the only thing up in the air.
John said he was.
Yeah, what happened with that?
So I haven't really heard anything else back. I've just kind of been, Kara, I've just been emailing you and kind of staying on top of it. As far as the location that was given, I know Napa, like that area behind Napa and the Southwick Inn. I went out in my own boots and I'm lucky enough to have an arborist, a master arborist that lives right next to me. And we looked at the land and the land is beautiful. I think the only thing that we would have to worry about is the vernal pool that's located up top, which I think there might be some type of requirements or restrictions to that. And then on the flip side, you've got the backside of Wally Park, which is pretty much already completely developed, which would be very low cost. Essentially for the town and the community, that would probably be the most economically, financially efficient place. But that's not to say that with these grants coming in, if I can get them, we could probably put it just about anywhere.
Would the dogs be afraid of the pickleball or anything?
No,
That's what
absolutely
pickleball's
not.
going.
They might want the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think the people would be more afraid of the ball getting lost into the dog park than goodbye ball, you know?
That would be me.
Yeah, so I'm kidding anyway, because the outer fences, what I'm imagining is the outer fence to the pickleball park is gonna be high enough to where you would have to intentionally try to hit it out, right? And no one's trying to hit home runs here.
Okay.
And then in between the pickleball courts, there's a lower fence so that you're not, I mean, you've all played tennis before where you hit it from one court and you're like, oh my God, I gotta go over 3 courts to go get a ball. I'll just leave it. You know what I mean? And so if you use a lower fence like they do in most of the places around here, that helps with keeping the ball.
Okay.
Exactly. So you're not chasing it.
Okay, because we're looking at putting them down there, so I just
Right.
want to sure that.
And it would certainly drive some traffic into that area, which has been a consistent issue for us.
Yeah.
Right?
So the cul-de-sac, right?
Mhm.
The bathroom's here, there's the cul-de-sac. Could you do a dog park over there?
I don't know if it'd be,
Or
I
is
don't
that
know if
too
there's a big enough
isolated?
area.
Like the way back part?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't.
that's where
I
Don
don't-
originally wanted the pickleball.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
So
big
maybe if it
enough
was,
to put a dog park.
if it was
I-
big enough for the pickleball.
Well, pickleball is not as big as you think it is. It's only 60 by
Have you
120.
looked at the park
Okay.
down there, like the lower part?
I have, so I've checked out, I think, both areas that you're talking about. So the upper area would be where those 2 soccer nets sit, and then down a little bit would be
Down
that.
is where we're gonna put the pickleball courts, but if you go down, there's like a bathroom at the bottom of the hill, and you
Mhm.
turn right. There's a cul-de-sac, and then there's another
little area in there.
clearing at the end there.
I don't see why not. I
I
mean,
don't know if that's big enough for what you're looking
well,
at.
particularly if I could get some of these grants, say like a construction grant or one of these companies to come in, if they had to clear, just throwing it out there, I would assume that Mr. Wally owns a fair amount of that land.
Not anymore, the town does.
Or the town, I should say the town of Southwick.
We still own land adjacent,
But with, yeah,
Well, he's the one to talk to.
I wouldn't, as long as it was okay and approved, I wouldn't be opposed to using some of that money to help clear out extra land to make it a little bit larger, so we could possibly split it, small dogs, large dogs, to keep it
It's always
That's-
a great idea.
safe
Yeah.
and, you know, realistic as possible.
How big is the actual park that you're looking at?
I honestly, footprint wise, it's kind of completely up to the community. I'd want it to be ideally the same size as Salmon Brook. The only thing that I noticed Salmon Brook misses is the small part for the small dogs, which I think would be very beneficial to this area and the community. You're gonna have, in my mind, the way I look at it is general direction, you've got 8 miles where anybody has to travel to get their dog in a car to go to a dog park. So within that vicinity, we should have quite a few people taking their animals, hopefully, and bring them to the park, whether to socialize, meet new people, whatever it may be. So it should increase the people coming in and hopefully bring in different breeds of dogs, not just the large dogs who need to get out and exercise, but maybe the elderly couple who hasn't had a chance to socialize can bring their dog to the small dog park and meet another elderly couple, or, you know, somebody twice as younger than them. But, you know, hopefully keep it on an even scale for everybody to enjoy in the community, so it's not just geared towards dog owners or, you know, one particular style of dog owner.
Okay, so do you need the location to move ahead, the exact location? Cause that sounds like it's still, I think it's in a
Yeah,
hold up.
that's what I'm wondering, cause I mean, you can go right ahead and do whatever.
Okay,
And then, is that what you are? You're looking for a more specific pinpoint thing?
honestly, so for some of these, so for the Pet Safe Park, that seems to be the largest one that gives out the largest grants. I mean, I think they even go upwards to 150K. So that would be a substantial one. I think that's the one, if I recall correctly, when speaking with, the city of Tampa, that's what they went through for their, along with like some private donating. But I don't see why, if, say, the Doris Day Foundation, Nutri-Room to Run, Beneful Dream Dog Park Project, I don't understand that if I were to, or I don't see the issue, if I were to submit kind of like a general layout to them, why they would have any issues with me not having a set in stone location. I think it's just a matter of, hey, this individual's adamant about this, the community supports it, the town would like it. And if they're on board, then why not? And I'm assuming with grants, you will have X amount of time to use that money. And if you do not, that money is dissolved into the air. So one would hope they'd give me a timeline, and then I could present that grant to Parks and Rec and say, hey, look, throughout the last X amount of months, I've accommodated this amount of money. And then with that said too, the GoFundMe has not been the most profitable.
It's lost its luster.
It has quite a bit. And I realized that once I started this, it initially, right off the bat, I had people making small donations, which was wonderful. We sit at 500. It has not moved from that since.
Was it specifically for Southwick?
Mhm. So just for Southwick, at first, we originally started it to kind of help. We were thinking maybe the town of Westfield would be interested in something like this. But the town of Westfield has a very small dog park already located within their city, and they're very okay with that. Which is very okay with me.
Well, how do we get that out a little bit more, that there is a GoFundMe for it?
I can personally, so I work, I mentor a bunch of children at the Westfield Vocational Academy, and they work very hard in the graphics department, signage, t-shirts, everything from little, hand sanitizer things with whatever you want on it. They're very good at that. I've already spoken with the head of graphics, and if I had signs that needed to be printed, we could potentially do that. Let's say like a QR code, scan the QR code, pops up to a GoFundMe. Other side to that is actively working and turning this into a nonprofit. I just didn't understand the legalities behind it and the time process and
Wow.
Yeah, the one step after another step after another step. So once hopefully it gets submitted to the IRS because they're in charge of regulating all that stuff.
You gotta get a tax exempt and all that.
Yes, that's one thing that I'm coming across that seems to be the number one question is, do you have a tax ID? So I feel like if I had a tax ID and actually accomplished that, the amount of funding that would be coming in would be much different.
And that's just for your. How do I say it? That's just for who you are. Because this isn't the only dog park you're ever gonna try to do, right? I mean, you wanna kind of branch out and go to a different town and maybe put one in another town, or you have an organization that you kind of is your thing.
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, my overall goal is to own a rescue and keep
Yeah.
the dog parks kind of generating to help people understand that not only is it useful for your pet, but it's also wildly beneficial from a health and mental health standpoint to have a space to roam around with. But with that said, no, I would say majority, actually everything that I've gotten now is strictly for Southwick. So Southwick's my number one, and then we'll kind of go from there and see what other communities might be interested. But for now, I want to keep it home and very relevant, and not spread out too much because I feel like, too many fingers out there kind of lessens the impact. And if I keep it fairly focused on the town of Southwick, then that'll at least help people understand that whatever donations you're making is going to this singular project. Once that project's complete and all the money's put into that, we can start a new project. So just kind of,
I mean, once you get that tax exempt though, that's yours.
yes, yeah, that nonprofit
Yeah,
will be
so,
mine. Yes.
Correct. So the dog or your fundraising would fall under your organization though,
Yeah,
the umbrella of your organization.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, and with that said too, I've got the opportunity to, provided it's okay with the town of Southwick and Parks and Rec, something like Southwick Bark Project, right? Get that printed on t-shirts, start selling those. Sweatshirts, coffee mugs, etc., to help, establishments and people understand, because I would have no problem if I got X amount of t-shirts made, X amount of coffee cups made. I don't mind handing those out to some places, Grist Mill. I mean, there's tons of places in Southwick. Westfield Brewery, Bar Shop, Brass Rail, you name it, all these wonderful establishments, just to get the word out so they can start saying, hey, have you heard about this project that Southwick's trying to do? Oh, would you like to help? Here's a way to, give some funds, raise money. And then also Westfield River Brewery has been pretty awesome. Are willing to allow me to do a fundraiser, which I think would be incredible. I'm gonna speak with the owner of Brass Rail and see if maybe we can do a pup brunch where maybe like 10 or 15% of the proceeds from that given Sunday or Saturday could go to the dog park. And then also speak with some local bar and restaurants to see if, hey, maybe one weekend of, say, June, Tucker's, the Southwick Inn, and another place could make one mixed drink where 10% of that sales goes solely to the dog park. And kind of keep it all community driven, community based. I know I'm not a member of the Southwick community, but oh man, would I absolutely love to be, and look forward to it sooner rather than later. But yeah, those are just some ideas, and again, it's just looking for permission. I don't want to step on anybody's toes or do anything I'm not supposed to, because this is all very new to me.
I mean, you could even have a road race.
No, by all means, I'm very good at doing fundraising, so.
No, I just had a cookie. Didn't she end up, the profits from her road races ended up going to somewhere? Like you could pick where they went to?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Do you remember her name?
Trish something. I'd have to look it up. That's been quite a few years back now, but.
Well, that was all great until COVID, remember? It was like just before COVID, you were gonna have these road
I can reach
races.
out.
And they were gonna benefit, they would benefit certain organizations, and you kind of got to pick.
Yeah.
And, yeah, did we even have one? I think she had one.
One or two.
Yeah, I mean, that would be. a
And they were in town.
phenomenal idea. Plus, what a great way to get the community engaged. If so
Yeah,
many
it's a
different
good-
types of people
They're
come
good
together.
Fundraisers.
Yeah.
And-
sorry to mean to
No,
interrupt.
no, I.
But another idea too is like, say like a farmer's market, right? If we have the right space available, that's something that we'd be able to host or potentially put together to help raise extra funds. I know, no pun intended, but like Ray's Farm, there's tons of other, farm Calibres.
We just had the farm day, like, right? There's 77 farms that participated or whatever.
See, and that's
Yeah.
awesome. So, but just, little things to keep the community engaged and kind of keep the idea of a dog park out there. We know, obviously, it's not gonna happen anytime soon, and that's okay. But to just get people thinking and kind of, hoping that this will hopefully pop up and we'll have a place to all go.
Have you checked with the dog place by Big Y? I'm drawing a blank on the name.
Barkers.
Yeah, to maybe,
Bark
maybe
groomers?
do something with them or
Bark-
put something up there. just
Yeah.
to-
Bark. Yeah.
I always think Mr. Bubbles, but I know
I-
that's not it.
I think of the building. I know it was an old East Hampton Savings
And
Bank
that
or
was
something
Bright
like
Red,
that,
I'm not
right?
sure. I'm drawing a blank on the name.
They might let you put a collection bin
Yeah,
in there.
yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Tractor Supply is very welcoming to those kinds of things too.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Good to
that's-
know. And it's funny that you said that because I was looking at the land across the street from Tractor Supply located on the right. And I had mentioned it to the woman. Yeah, it's quite a bit of it's for sale.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, I think they wanted to put Carvana up there. Good thing it
Yeah.
didn't happen. And I said, no, I'm very happy it didn't happen. I said, hopefully, maybe one day there'll be a dog park there. And she said, oh, get out of here. If they ever do that, you let us know. So the community's definitely on board, to say the least.
Yeah.
Just a matter of getting it out there in the right way so people understand I'm not looking for money from the taxpayers or from anything like that. We're gonna try to get this done without anybody having to give anything.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, oh, and I did take everybody's advice. I reached out to Mr. Westcott and I
Oh, yeah.
did try to get a hold of the co-founders, I guess you could say, of the Agawam Dog Park. I was unable to get a hold of either. But what I did do was I reached out to Ulster County, which is located in New York. They work with Nothing But Love Canine Foundation, which is very near and dear to my heart. And they pretty much gave me like the 1-2 steps on how to establish a dog park. And the very first thing they said was get your grant writing skills up to par because you're gonna need it. They said, especially for a small town, local community, it's the best way to get it going because it eases the tensions on the community, thinking that they have to put all this money forth for a dog park or potentially be liable. And it just takes that worry right away.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's one thing I wanted to focus on, which I guess was the main factor behind trying to get in here. Just, like I said, I didn't want to start writing grants or getting money approval and have you guys be like, whoa, we haven't given you the, you haven't really gotten the okay yet, so slow down a bit.
I think also you could try to work in CPC funds
Okay,
from the town as well, which there's an application,
okay,
but you wanna have a little bit more. You need to have more information or more concrete stuff done because the application asks for specifics,
okay,
but can be funding for that too.
okay. And by specifics, would you mean, say, like an area and blueprint? Yeah, yeah, all right.
And what it's gonna cost and like quotes and things like that.
Okay.
Like, we can talk about it and I can show you.
Sure,
But,
sure.
I mean, if your other stuff fails or like your GoFundMe is a flop and but you still have money, it's gonna ask you in the application, like, what else have you done? I have $500 for this, I have $1,000, I have a grant here and there. And say you need another like 10 grand and you just can't get it.
Mhm.
That's an option for you is to fill out that application.
Okay, kind of sublet whatever else I might need.
Yep.
Okay.
And it asks you particulars, I can show you, and then, what that does, you would present it, go in front of the Community Preservation Committee.
Mhm.
And then, they would vote on to approve it, and then inevitably it ends up being that the town people, it goes in front of the town for town vote.
Okay.
So it is something where the funds are there,
Mhm.
and, I know that there's been a lot of talk anyway about a dog park. So, I think it's just kind of getting it more out there, because I think you're gonna have people that are gonna, wanna support you with it.
Cool.
And there
Nothing
is
gets the
some funding.
information out there like a town meeting.
Yeah.
Fair enough, and
So that, the only kind of, thing with that is like, when you have town meetings, they're like once, sometimes twice. a
Special
year.
one is twice, yeah.
Yeah, so you got like, you don't have it, the next one is May,
Oh, that gives me
Right.
plenty of time.
so, okay. So that's how you wanna get your application in and you wanna get it reviewed
Okay.
by CPC. But then, it doesn't mean that you can't submit the application at any other time, though, and we can talk about that.
Okay, and now with, like a town held meeting, say, person to, other town residents, would that be something, and correct me, I'm a little not versed with giving presentations, it's been quite a bit, but is that something that you guys would like a PowerPoint for?
What I would do would be not that yet, but at the next town meeting in May, if say everything's not finalized, I'd have a little table with your t-shirt and your mug,
Okay,
right?
yeah, I
But
gotcha.
you also, no, that you wouldn't be able to do at the town meeting per se.
Okay,
But if your application goes through and it gets approved, then at the town meeting, that's when you go and they'll say, well, there's pros and cons to the dog park. You can get up and say, well, this is, I'm invested in this is what I believe in, blah, 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 and you kind of sell it.
okay,
And the town votes on
I'm
it.
sorry, ma'am.
Go ahead, yes.
You can campaign at Tractor Supply. They're very welcoming to
Okay.
that. You could plop a table right outside with all
oh,
your.
cool,
with all your
alright, I
gear
see what you guys
And
got.
tell the community, I'm gonna be at the town meeting to get support for CPC funds.
Yeah,
And go through your spiel really quick. You just fine tune it to 30 seconds on their way in. Can you see me on the way out?
Mm-hmm, I like that.
It
Okay.
works great.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's a wonderful idea.
Cause they got a little portico on the side and we just tucked a table in there.
Cool, yeah, that's excellent, thank you very much.
so basically, at this point in time, it's the location,
Yep,
Right?
just location.
okay,
And we've got two ideas, right?
right, so
At
we
least,
need
well,
to-
at least two,
At
maybe
least two,
three.
yeah, at least two, maybe three, and I'm always up for suggestions, if anybody ever has a suggestion. Especially with the fact that I mentor and I'm disabled, it gives me the ability to not walk around too much and can't go mountain climbing or anything like that, but I can go check out areas and look at them, take pictures, things of that nature. So if you guys are busy, I don't mind filling in and doing that, especially if it's gonna help, absolutely, that's just, and that's a no-brainer, so.
What's the amount of acreage you would be looking for?
Figuratively speaking, you want at least 1 acre, right? One is typically what you'd like for at least a small and a large dog park. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say, but, if I could get, say, 1.5 to 2 acres or anything more, that just allows us, and I say us, Southwick as a community, to have a wonderful
Gives you
establishment.
options.
Yeah, tons of options. And I mean, from going down to Tampa and seeing the way that they operate at this dog park, it's like, they have farmers markets every Tuesday. They have live bands playing over the weekends. They have vendors, craft fairs. I mean, you name it. It just brings in an influx of people. And I know that's a large city and the tourism is through the roof, but that's not to say that we couldn't make a little blip here in Southwick and start the influx of people coming in. Good, good people. So
Yeah.
the general idea.
Sounds good.
Sounds like you're on your way.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you guys listening to me very much and taking your time out of your evening to stay a little later and hear me out.
No worries.
And all the advice too. Much appreciated, and it will be absorbed.
Can I get your email address?
Absolutely.
I'll forward it to you.
That's.
I was
just
gonna-
forward it to
yeah.
you.
Kara and I are in contact.
And then we can kind of just communicate.
Sure, yeah, I would love that. And
Okay.
again, any suggestions, I'll look into Tractor Supply, I'll contact them. And then as soon as we get back from spring break, or not spring break, winter break, I'll start talking to the kids and seeing if we can get an idea for some t-shirts and sweatshirts being made. And
Sounds good.
create the AK swag they
Go
told
to
me
the
about.
Easter egg hunt with that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you have that, you could pass it out there.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even.
I
think
don't
of that.
know, did you post on Facebook?
So
Like
actually, so
anything
Dog
that's,
Rescue and Rehab LLC is the Facebook page.
Okay.
And that's what I'm running under right now. As soon as the nonprofit gets switched, it's not going to be that. I've got to figure out another name because that name's already taken for a
Oh,
foundation,
yeah.
so. Still playing around with some ideas, but no matter what, the end goal for the first goal is to start a dog park in Southwick. So any proceeds that I get period, until that park is established, that's where they're going. Whether it be $5 or 500, it's just,
I don't know, I'm thinking you, go on the Park and Rec Facebook page and say, hey, you know, there's a thought,
yeah,
dog park would like to, you know, something. I'm horrible with Facebook,
no,
but
no, that's
at
okay.
the same time, we do have a Facebook page that maybe you wanna just throw something up there. and
Yeah,
say,
I would
"Here's
love
a
to."
GoFundMe, and put the GoFundMe link in there.
Sure.
And then, as we get better with,
Just make sure the town's gonna let you solicit.
oh, that's right. Hmm,
On there.
let me, before you do that,
No problem. I'll wait until I hear back.
let me look into that.
Okay.
But let me see what I can and can't do with that.
Yeah, and I
Can
will-
Can't do with that.
I'll fine tune some things on the website too, just so when people do look at it, they understand that this, at the moment, this is just for Southwick. This isn't, you know, if you do donate, this money's not getting put out elsewhere. This is going strictly to the dog park.
Mhm.
Nothing more, nothing less. I mean, obviously, if we've got people in need, who need help, an injured dog in the town of Southwick, and people are on board with that, I'm all for it. Let's help them. For the time being, the money should be delineated towards the dog park.
Maybe we can see where you can do a post on the Facebook that sends someone to that they can click on that link to that. And not so much the GoFundMe, but I'll find out before I get myself. in
Yeah, and I'll try to word it as best I can, so
Mm.
Southwick knows it's strictly for Southwick.
Right, yeah. Yep. Okay,
Awesome.
good.
Well, thank everybody very much
Thank
for your
you.
time and,
Thank you for the update.
no problem.
Thank you.
This has been wonderful. Much appreciated. I learned so much this evening.
So do we wanna put you on the agenda for next month?
That would be wonderful, just so I could stay up to date with everybody and
Yeah.
hopefully, I can plug away at this and give you guys some more updates.
Okay.
Especially with the warmer weather, it allows me to kind of get out there a bit more. And,
And just to kind of clarify, are you kind of looking for us to pick the place? Are you, you know, like where do you stand with that? Kind of.
I think it would be cool if the community of Southwick helped me pick this place. I think it kind of helps keep the integration of everybody together and
Mhm.
it's less of a me project and more of a we project because that's really what I want it to be. So yeah, if the town wouldn't mind helping me, that would be wonderful because it just,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not, real estate and or land buying is not my forte, so I don't know a whole lot about this. So getting directed from people who are educated on it is gonna help me immensely. And, you know, stop any mishaps from happening, so. But yeah, I would love that.
Does the 1 acre allow for parking space?
No, the 1 acre is not allowed for, yeah, so so I will track that, we'll addend that. It should 1.5 acres, because it'd say the 0.5 would cover parking, yeah. Parking, any bathroom facilities that may be needed, things of that nature. And then, yeah, other than that, I'll just start plugging away and we'll get some stuff made up.
All right.
Sounds good.
Want to say any other questions?
No, you can
No,
update
I
us
think-
next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Sounds good.
Good.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you for your time.
No problem. Sounds really good. So,
Thank you.
Conference room 2.
Thank you. I enjoy, like I said, got very educated this morning or this evening, so works out well. But thank you very much and I hope you guys have a great
welcome.
evening.
And I'll be in
You
touch
too.
with you. I'll get your email.
Thank you, Kara.
We can,
Yes,
talk about CPC.
sounds great. And I'll see you next month.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Thank you.
Do you know how to get out? I'm not kidding. Do you know how to get out?
Right?
Yeah, you came in the back way.
Yes, downstairs and down the hallway, right? Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
We just had another thing
You had
to talk
another meeting
about,
tonight?
Josh Santos Titans.
The other ones are all done.
Sending
I was,
the-
yeah, I was sitting for
softball field.
Oh,
Yeah, this is, I knew it was gonna be a long.
That was, yeah, that was, I should have been a medical business, right?
but, expanding the. Yeah, so,
Bringing up, whatever new business, and so new business is old business sometimes.
sure. Okay, so our last thing for new business is Titans baseball.
Where did we leave that? Wasn't there action on them to get?
Yeah,
back
they
to us
wanted
or
to rent
something?
fields, but they weren't sure how many or whatever, and they wanted to rent as many, but we told them they had to kind of fine tune it, because we have people
Yeah.
renting fields.
Give us a schedule and, right, okay. Did they do that?
He sent one this week of
Okay.
field usage. No numbers were talked about, and I think that's what he was waiting for. So I can give you guys the field usage.
Did he actually pick like dates and fields he wanted, or he just said,
So it was like practices Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the 90-foot, 70-foot, softball field, a couple days a week.
Oh,
So
no, yeah.
all of the fields.
Did he give you a
No games.
timeline that they want to get, he wants you to get back to him? Probably as soon as possible, right?
Well, he wanted to know if he could use fields, and he can. It's just a matter of ironing out
Yeah.
the price.
They're not planning on using the 70s on Sundays, right?
So I don't remember offhand if it was Saturday or Sunday, but he is gonna use the 90 and the 70 on the weekends. And the softball,
I don't think we can give him the softball on
Sundays,
whatever
no,
that
not Sunday,
league's been going.
Right, Sundays.
right? So he was asking about modifying the softball field to fit 70-foot bases. He was asking if we could do that.
I think the only way that that could be done would be if we had the fields redone, as we talked about on our previous topic,
Mhm,
and they get the pole
correct.
put in,
You put in the ground
Correct.
system, but they have.
And
to
then
be
you cap
capped.
'em.
That's right.
so that when they wanna play their games or do their practice, they can put the base in
Yeah.
for that dimension for whatever, age group is playing. I don't think at this point in time that we can accommodate that realistically, because we would have to, Howard, we don't have that capability right now.
It just opened
Right.
up a little bit of Pandora's box, right? Because you're right, it's not just the bases,
You got a
right?
mound,
You've got the mound,
There's no mound on the softball.
And there
field,
won't
right?
be.
It's
No.
just flat.
and then it's flat,
right?
which I
And
don't
then-
know how he plans on, how do you,
I think he said something, they have
They
temporary
have,
mounds.
they have
they
a
have
portable
thingies they
mound.
throw over them or
Yeah, they have a
something?
portable mound, yeah.
Yeah, like a wooden platform
Yeah.
with astroturf on it.
And then, but does what we were talking about with the base to the, where we gotta, is that gonna come into play? You know what I mean, with where
Yeah,
the
well-
plate is with regard to the back.
The
side.
softball field's 60 foot.
Correct, but they were talking about adding, they're gonna put,
Yeah, they
they
would
would
be
put pegs at 70
70.
and then a second base, in
Yeah, so we
between.
have to cut out grass on the backside,
Correct, yeah,
because they're not gonna have grass on their infield if they're playing on that. So I don't know if that's something we get into.
you'd have
But
to,
if we are gonna do it, we would do it. We gotta get,
We would
the
only do
we
it
gotta get the
then.
field done anyway, so that would be the time to do the whole thing.
agreed.
And
But you,
other 70-foot look, because the last time I thought it needed a lot of work. Not so much dirt and stuff like that, but it needed some TLC.
I'm sure it does.
yeah, that I think would be worthwhile having them take a look at that at the same time too, seeing we don't have maintenance.
I
anything.
think, the Titans themselves have done some maintenance over there because they were using it. Right, Jeff King's, that's Jeff King's.
Yeah, they were using.
They were doing some, maintenance that wasn't being done.
Well, we've never done any updating on the dirt since it was new.
No.
So
I think
maybe,
they've got the
maybe it'd be
same-
worth having them look at
For
that
sure.
field too.
Yeah. Well, you're there.
We have some money, so I mean.
Yeah.
Would be worth
Okay,
doing that.
I'm gonna call that the official 70-foot.
Okay,
Cause just so I can discern in my head.
You got a 90, 70, 60, right?
Kara, are you gonna talk to this baseball guy? Cause again, or is he like
Yeah.
bugging you all the time? Maybe ask him what he's planning on doing for a mound, cause we're not gonna put a mound out there.
On the
Tell him he's
60.
gonna have to
Yeah.
use a temporary mound. Cause we're not gonna put a mound out there and have the softball people
Okay.
use it and wreck it for everybody who's using it for
Yeah,
softball.
yeah.
Okay,
They did say that, but let's confirm it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause
Okay.
that's gonna be a safety thing for you guys playing softball. having
Yeah, we're
it
not-
in the middle of
couldn't
the
have
field.
Yeah,
I'd have to quit pitching,
You're a pitcher?
sort of.
I used to pitch.
Someone hits the ball up the middle
Oh, yeah, could you imagine?
and it flies off of that.
It's me, or, yeah.
all right.
so we're gonna look into it. See what. the-
Yeah, I guess that's the best way I mean, the best thing you can tell them, with the exception of the question that Dave had
Okay, yeah, I'll ask him.
with the mound thing.
Okay.
And I mean, the only thing you can tell them right now is that we don't have, we don't have it where the bases we're able to switch out bases
On the 16th.
depending on,
Yeah.
depending on the length, depending on what you're modifying it for, what sport or,
I mean,
You
if
know
we
what I
get the
mean.
stuff, I could go down there with somebody and get it measured outright for the field. I mean, that's not a problem, but it's a matter of getting the grass cut off and the rest of the dirt put in.
well, the only
We're
thing
gonna
with
do
that
that.
would be, I remember Dave Sutton saying something about sprinklers.
Oh,
Remember he said that?
Oh, yeah.
And they would have to be moved.
marked and evaluated for moving, yeah.
So
Um,
that also has to come
And the
into
bases
consideration.
aren't simple, because you have to dig out the area, pour concrete, put the marker dead where you want it.
Yeah,
And then let it rest and then cover it back up, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
I don't
that's,
know if that's something we're really, cause he's probably looking to start like as soon as he can in April.
Oh,
I
sure.
imagine
Yeah.
with these guys.
the 60 may be out. Cause there's a lot to do, right? Not to say that it would be in for next year if we could plan for it, but we gotta hear from this guy, from your guy.
Or even in the fall, I
Right,
mean.
or fall, yeah, fall,
Okay,
Okay,
just.
I'm down with that.
The 60 might be the
okay.
question mark, and then does he have pricing then? Did we discuss that?
No,
When do we want to do that?
okay, next meeting.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it?
Yes. No, we got 10 more
I got
minutes.
5 more minutes before it's time to go to bed.
I went to bed an hour ago. Just saying, I'm very comfy.
Did you have anything to add, Diane?
So tell me about the stage at the
Oh, boy.
park.
We already went over
Oh,
that.
we
I think
covered
we're-
that.
we're
No,
past
just
that.
You did? Did you?
Well, that's the
Sorta.
cultural council stage. It ends up in the garage every year, cause the first year it went down there. They didn't have anywhere or anybody to take it away, so it ended up in the garage, but now the garage.
Is that why you want the other storage?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
now it goes in there, and now we have more mowers and tractors and everything else that are down there, so it's kind of in the way, plus it would be good to have the storage to put that stuff in
Mhm.
when it's not being used, because the last couple of years, it's been out there for the whole
They
season.
leave it out there, and that's a problem
And
too.
then also when
The
Kara has,
state, the actual physical
yeah, when
state.
Kara has a
Correct.
fence
In the
down there,
pavilion.
the chairs are stored here, I guess.
Yeah.
So
So
that's what the little shed is that you're looking
instead
for?
of having the chairs here and being trucked over there every time and then back here, it would be just to keep them.
Keep it all there.
Yeah.
And then is there, some kind of frame around the pavilion or something? They want to put, the Rotary wants to put a backdrop, but they don't know necessarily how it would attach. And they were gonna talk to you guys about it, and I'm here, so I'm just
Yeah,
gonna.
they haven't,
That they probably haven't yet, but they're thinking about how they could do that.
like a curtain backdrop or,
Yeah,
We try to do that every year at the hoedown.
and how's that go? What do you
If it's not-
attach to?
We actually use tape and we attach it to the
Pavilion itself.
pavilion itself.
The beam.
There's nothing to attach it to.
Like, there's no pipe work, there's no,
No, it would not be easy to do.
okay.
Are we talking a backdrop so that you're not looking at the bathroom doors?
No,
Behind
I guess
the
the sun is this is from
Yeah.
the concert, so I guess
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
that's true.
sun to block that, yeah.
They'd have
So
to
they don't know
install
how,
something.
if they were, I thought PVC pipe frame
Yeah.
or something, but I don't know how they would get it in there without it being a hazard on T-legs or something.
Right.
Mhm.
So they were gonna, I'm just throwing it out to you so you can start thinking about it, because they're gonna come and ask you about it.
Yeah, I don't know
You have a heads
what they
up.
would, I don't know, there's probably something you could, clamps or something you could put temporary, but I don't know.
Put the band down the other end.
Flip it.
I'm not being smart. I
No,
mean,
flip it.
Flip the band, yeah, put
Yeah.
them down the other end.
Then the band is looking into the sun, right?
Oh, darn.
If they're good, they don't have to see.
Seems like you need to go north-south, not east-west.
Well, that's true too.
Shift the
But then you-
pavilion.
Then you kill your.
They're gonna ask you about it, so just giving you a heads up, if somebody's
cool.
there and wants to.
Usually
eyeball
when-
it and-
Usually when
Something
groups
they
come in.
wanted to do like weekly or put up and leave it there forever.
No, take it down each time.
That's good. I look forward to the conversation, because usually when people come in with that kind of stuff, we ask them what their idea is. We're not the idea people per se, right? So I would be curious as to what they would
What
be,
idea they have.
what ideas they have.
But they're getting a big banner printed, and they thought that it would have grommets,
Yeah,
and they would be able to find some kind of way to hook.
Yeah, take a
with the
look down there and
grommets,
see.
so.
that wouldn't be as, I wouldn't say that would be as difficult as like a big curtain, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if it's something.
Well, then you
We
can use
couldn't
the hooks as
install like
well,
hooks,
yeah,
we couldn't have
Yes.
some hooks installed,
Sure, we could.
and then they just stay up there and everybody knows that it's for that.
for that.
Or quite honestly, when you take the banner down, no one's gonna see the hooks.
Right.
If you don't know they're there,
Right, they just stay
Right.
up there,
correct.
and the only people who know are us and the Rotary
Home
folks who
Depot
are
and get some.
setting up the.
I mean, that would be something if they wanted a banner, if they can find somebody that can install the hooks now.
I'm cool with that if
You
that's
know,
what they
that,
want.
if you do that, then anybody who wants to rent the thing, you tell them as a selling feature that they can rent the space to put up a banner for their celebration.
That's a good one.
$50.
Yeah.
For an extra
Use of the
$50.
You can use of the hooks.
That's funny. All right,
Okay.
okay, that might not be such a bad thing then.
I assume
So
they're gonna
they-
call to get on the agenda.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Or they ask, maybe there's someone on the select board that knows somebody. They didn't know I was coming by here tonight,
Oh.
so that's why I said, I was just giving you a heads up, so yes, you will hear from someone soon, I'm
Okay.
sure. Because they're working hard on.
When do the concerts start? May?
May. Middle of May.
So they'll be in like
Middle of May?
middle of May meeting. Want to do it the following. week.
July and August? I think July and August.
oh, they don't start in May, the concerts? I
No, I
wish they
think
did.
it's July and August.
And this happens.
They
Yeah, yeah, it is,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
it's only 8, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right, you're right, and then it
So
gets
they-
rained out.
They've got enough time. then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, we could probably make something work.
As long as you
Okay.
put the grommets in the same place the hooks end up, right?
Yes, that would
But
be
you
be,
their
need,
deal, I
you
know.
probably need hooks on some kind of trap so you can adjust them for whatever.
my
your needs
goodness.
are.
Yes.
that would be
Yeah, no,
ideal as
seriously.
Yeah,
well.
like the old
You're right.
Track lighting.
Not all
tracks.
banners are the same
True,
length.
Yeah,
And as long as we're not, hanging like, baby Johnny jump ups from those things, then should be okay.
that's all I had, don't let me hold it up. That's-
all right. Motion to adjourn? Yes, can I entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Dave Dora motions,
I'll second.
seconded, thank you. Oh, all in favor of, meeting ended?